Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi, and today we're going to be taking a look at the retro style Stormtrooper produced by Chris Smith, formerly of Smith Law Creations. Now Chris has formerly worked on the custom Han in Stormtrooper outfit and also the Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper outfit and the Yak Face and Blue Snaggletooth figures, and this is one of the latest figures that he has started to produce, and it is a recreation of the vintage Kenner Stormtrooper. So let's take a closer look at the packaging and then we'll take a closer look at the figure. So the Stormtrooper is available either as a loose figure or on this early 12-back version of the Star Wars card. On the front you can see this is a recreation of the original cards from the 70s, and the artwork is still exactly as you would expect. It's nice quality print there and it has all the details you want, and these are unpunched cards, so you can see the tab hole is still complete at the top. If we turn it over you'll see that this is a 12-back card, so it has information about the first 12 figures that were available. The cardstock it used is really nice. It's a nice thick quality card, pretty similar to the original cards, and you can see here that it actually clearly says Smith Law Creations right in the middle, so if you're worried about being sort of confused between these and originals, and it is clearly marked. But the overall feel of this, it just feels like one of those vintage cards, really nice quality. And actually if you compare this to the ones that Hasbro have been producing recently, you can see the quality difference. This is the card back from Hasbro's recent retro collection, and this is made of really cheap sort of thin card. It's really bendy, it just feels sort of cheap and nasty. If you compare this to Chris's one here, this is a lovely thick quality card, and it also doesn't have the big sticker on the front that all of the retro collection cards have got, and this sort of faux aging that they've added around the edge, which I really don't like. That it just sort of detracts from the card. So to have a card like this that looks and feels like an original card is just so much nicer. And again, if we turn it over you can see that's obviously the 12-back card, and this is Hasbro's one with all the sort of extra bump. They've tried to sort of make it look the same, but it just doesn't work. This classic sort of style here just looks so much better and really does feel like the real thing. Now let's take a closer look at the figure. So this is a loose figure, exactly the same as you would get on the card. You can see it has all the same sort of detailing that you would expect from Chris's previous work. The quality of the moulds and castings is fantastic. Has the same articulation as the original figure, so you can rotate the arms and you can rotate the legs. The only difference is if we turn it over you'll see that the copyright information on the back has been replaced and it just says SLC there. Now the great thing with this figure, if you compare it to Hasbro's recent effort at doing it, is that he can actually hold his gun. So you can see here it comes with a nice blaster which does fit perfectly in his hand and stays there really quite firmly. You can see I can shake this figure around and the blaster doesn't move. If I bring in Hasbro's retro collection figure, which I've previously reviewed, and we compare it to that, I will put in, this is Hasbro's blaster, we can put it in his hand. Oh, it's fallen out. You can see the Hasbro's versions just don't want to hold the blasters at all. So compared to what Hasbro are producing, Chris's figures are a massive step up. They actually do what they're supposed to do. And another thing that I've noticed, just sort of as I've got all of these figures out to compare, you can see this is the Hasbro figure. You can see the colour difference in them. Hasbro's figure, when I reviewed it, I did mention that I didn't think the plastic felt right and it just sort of felt a bit wrong. And actually when you compare the two figures, you can see how blue the plastic is. It's just got a sort of tinge to it and it just doesn't look right. If we bring in an original Stormtrooper, you can see the colour match between Chris's recreation and the original is much closer. I will put Hasbro's one next to it. You can just see how different the colours are. It's got a certain tinge to the plastic that makes it look a little bit strange. And you may just think that this is just one odd figure. I've got other ones. I brought out another Stormtrooper. This was a little bit of a yellowed one, but even still, the sort of colour tones seem to match Chris's one a lot better. So I'm going to say Hasbro's poor effort is no comparison to the ones that Chris has managed to produce here. This certainly looks and feels the part. We'll do a sort of closer comparison just so you can see the faces. So this is an original Stormtrooper and that is very close. The proportions are pretty much spot on, as is all of the detailing. It's looking remarkably close to the originals there. And I'm just going to bring up Hasbro's one as well so we can do the same sort of comparison. So you can see that's Hasbro's one. Hasbro's one is a little bit soft on the moulding. In fact, it's also a little bit thin. You can see his helmet is slightly thinner. I think the whole figure is actually a little bit thinner. So the Chris Smith one here is really nice. That's certainly much closer to the original figure. In fact, you'd be hard pushed to tell the difference apart from the fact the copyright information has been changed on the back of the leg. So as you can see, Chris has done a superb job of recreating both the figure and the car back, and it actually puts Hasbro to shame because their sort of poor quality efforts, considering they have all the equipment and all the knowledge of making figures in the past, their sort of poor quality effort of making a retro style figure like this really doesn't compare to what the fans can produce. And I think this is so much superior to this. I would suggest that these ones, don't really bother trying to get them, try and get Chris's one. They just look better, and the fact they can actually hold a weapon makes them 10 times better in my eyes. This Hasbro one just is useless. He can't hold his weapon. It's a bit of a rubbish figure, but Chris's one, straight out of the packet, weapon is held really nicely in it. I'm going to put links in the description as to where you can get these. There are a few places, so there'll be multiple links down there, so do check those out. I hope this video has been of interest, and if you want to check out more of my videos, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to be notified each time I upload a new one. And thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos. You can also follow toy-polloi on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.